All right, guys, back. Southeastern 16, SEC basketball, prime time reaction.
Prime time.
Prime time. We got one game still in progress, Texas and Oklahoma. We'll talk about that one. But as we said earlier, this stream will be a lot more about the SEC tournament bracket and all that stuff. And we'll kind of quickly run through the games we haven't touched on today if you didn't see it earlier. We talked about Missouri, Kentucky, Arkansas, Mississippi State, Tennessee, South Carolina, Georgia, Vanderbilt, Alabama, Auburn. We've already talked about all those games today in separate streams, and we will obviously talk about those teams as we go through the tournament bracket and everything like that. So, Max, before we do that, though, we're going to quickly just run through, like, probably less than 10 minutes here on all the other action we've seen today that we've not yet discussed. Let's start with Florida, 90-71 win over Ole Miss. As the Gators, Max, just keep it on right now. 27-4 to finish the regular season.
Machinery, heavy machinery. It's past, like we have gone past saying Florida is a machine. We have to start using technical terms now. This is heavy grade machinery here that we're working with. Have my fun with the Gators, but
a permit.
Yeah,
you don't need a permit to use this machinery, I think, for the Gators.
Yeah. What do you say? Perfect, not perfect, but near perfect game. 90-71 against an Ole Miss team. Condon goes for 17 and 15. Jeez. If you were watching the game, the broadcast kind of hit it. They're talking about why this team is a national title contender because of what they've got in the backcourt. And then Aberdeen with the depth beneath it. And then it matches the exact same and maybe even stronger in the front court now with Handlockton adding a fourth body. Blake, I know last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, St. John's was kind of crowned the hot pick for a Final Four after they had beaten UConn and had some big wins. If you're on social media at all right now, everyone is talking about the Gators being the team that's going to make the run.
Yeah, I mean, as they should be. I mean, again, they're pretty incredible right now. And look, I mean, they finished with the same regular season record as Auburn. Again, 27-4. These two teams, Auburn wins the regular season by a game over the Gators. What it winds up being 15-3, 14-4 for Florida. And yeah, I mean, like we said, I mean, really. It's wild to say. If Florida doesn't get down by 26 points in the first half to Georgia, I mean, you know, they're on a whatever game winning streak right now, right? So, yeah, I mean, the Gators are tremendous. As we said, they're locked in as a 2 seed for Ole Miss coming out of this Max. We'll talk about the seeding. Talk about the SEC tournament seeding in a second. Trust me, folks, if you're on Twitter, you've seen the bracket I put out. You've seen the bracket that's been showing on the SEC network. I'm going to give you my argument as to why I think we have it right, and I'm going to tell you I don't know. I can't make an argument for the SEC network bracket right now, but hey, maybe I'm just missing something on the tiebreaker process. But Ole Miss, Max, thoughts on them heading into to the SEC tournament, but NCAA tournament as well, coming off those back-to-back wins against Oklahoma and Tennessee. I mean, really no shame in losing at Florida right now, right?
Brutal matchup. It's probably the worst matchup in the SEC for Ole Miss is Florida. I would say that pretty confidently, just based on the waves of front court, the rebounding. Ole Miss just doesn't. That's not what they're built to be able to handle. They've, Malik Dia only gets 18 minutes. It wasn't really his game. You try to get a little bit of Brown Jones because Breakfield's having an awful game. I think that was plus minus wise, that was one of Breakfield's worst games at Ole Miss. It's just bad matchup. That's all it was. We said it in the preview. I said I was like, you get a spread out at 15, I'd still like that. Gators cover here, and Ole Miss is just a really tough matchup. Sean Padula is still a stud, though. He still found a way to do his thing. But yeah, Ole Miss, if you're looking towards SEC tournament, towards March Madness runs, they're a team that takes care of the ball and they turn you over a lot. So they're a tournament type of team with the old guards. But if they get matched up against an extra strong rebounding inside interior presence team, I don't like that.
Yeah. we'll see. Again, it's all about matchups. And when we show you
Yes.
this SEC tournament bracket when we do know, we don't know the NCAA yet. I'm going to show you. There's a very interesting clash when it comes to the top of the bracket and the bottom of the bracket. You're going to see what we're talking about when we look at this. I know everyone's saying in the chat, yes, that is what we have. We have Kentucky as the 6, Missouri as the 7, Ole Miss as the 8. But I think the SEC network has a different order, and I just can't understand why. But maybe we will. We will find out once they release the bracket. Okay. Let's see. Hold on, just quickly, Sam. The tiebreaker record against the top 4. It's actually you start from the top, which is where Kentucky and Missouri. We'll bring up the bracket in a minute, but Kentucky and Missouri both beat Florida, the number 2. So therefore, you go back to the head-to-head for those two teams. Kentucky just beat Missouri. There's your answer. So I think that's. I don't know how it could be any other way. So just we'll see. It's I think it's me and KSR right now against the world to see if we're right, but we'll find out. Okay. Texas A&M winds up winning at LSU in a game that winds up being 66-52, but LSU was winning that game at halftime. But what do you know? The Aggies take over with their defense as usual, Max.
The classic Aggies game. Just classic. 66-52. This thing never had a chance of sniffing the over. Classic Aggies. Wade Taylor, congratulations. Round of applause.
Yeah.
Now the all-time leading scorer in Texas A&M history. That's pretty incredible stuff. Wade Taylor gets it done. He has 17, 6 rebounds too to go along with that. Wade Taylor getting his hands dirty there. But yeah, I mean, what are we going to say? LSU didn't have about half the team. They didn't have their best offensive rebounder, and which you're going to need against A&M. A&M doesn't make too many shots in the first half, keeping it close, and then they take over with the physicality in the second. I don't have much to add.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, I said I thought this game could be a little tricky for Texas A&M. It was in the first half, but at some point, like we said, I mean, just the way they play can just wear on you, and that felt like that was the case for LSU. And like you mentioned, they're missing a couple guys that would have helped them in significant areas against a team like Texas A&M, and yeah, just as was not the case here. Aggies did their thing. The magic number of 25. They got there 25 times the free throw line, 14 offensive rebounds. It's kind of the story here. So, didn't expect it to be fully pretty, but yeah, that's kind of the way it worked out. So,
pretty to me, Blake. Pretty to me.
It's always, yeah. I mean, for you, this is your style. And again, when we bring this bracket up, you're gonna see the styles. Boy, you're gonna. The first slate of games on the day, each day is gonna last like 6 hours. Based on.
I like how it shook out.
Some of the teams that are going to match up with each other in this bracket. And by the way, I'm getting notifications as we speak continually on Twitter. The SEC network is showing a different bracket than yours. And I'm just like, can we please resolve this ASAP? Because I just want to get this resolved so I don't have to think about this bracket again and whether we actually have the order right.
Okay, guys, I gotta show you this. This is comedy. This is great. Okay, you guys gotta see this. Okay, I just looked up. This is what I did. I went into Twitter and I went into the browser. I just typed in SEC bracket and I hit search. I'm gonna go to media here to show the pictures. These are all Blake's bracket. Every one of them. Look at all these.
Everywhere. It's everywhere.
Look at all these brackets. Almost all of them are Blake's bracket that people have taken.
And now the SEC network has decided to display a different bracket, which is making me just sitting over here like, come on, where did I go wrong here? But I'm telling you, I don't think it's wrong. I think it's I don't know. So we're gonna find out though. I don't know how the tiebreaker is different, but maybe I'm wrong. We'll find out. So if so, then guess what? It's a good lesson to everyone out there. Don't just take the first bracket you see, okay? Mine, that is.
If you guys go to John Rothstein's Twitter and look at his SEC tournament tweet that has 95,000 views on it right now, it's Blake's bracket.
Look, so tell me the order again. What did ESPN have? Did they have Ole Miss as the 6?
That's all I saw.
All right. Well, then listen. If it had been different and they'd had Ole Miss as like the 7, then I would have really been thinking about it. But I see not a single possible scenario where Ole Miss is the 6 in this whole equation. There's no way. It's not possible. So therefore, I was questioning the Missouri Ole Miss one, but that one I was not questioning. Kentucky's the 6th seed. That's all I know. So the Matrix somehow we'll find
Too
out.
funny.
Oh
That was
man.
hilarious.
So. Anyways, we'll say now he's saying ESPN's changed it to Ole Miss is the 7, Missouri is the 8. So what is it? Which is it? I don't know.
That's wrong too,
point.
isn't it?
How? It's a head-to-head at that point. Missouri beat Ole Miss. Like, what am I missing here? After you get Kentucky out of the tiebreaker, Missouri beat Ole Miss. Again, we're gonna find out. So I'll never tweet a bracket ever again if Missouri is somehow the 8 in this equation because I don't see it. Yeah, everyone's saying it's got Ole Miss as the 8. Okay, well, you're saying you saw that as Missouri or Ole Miss the 8. Was that my bracket you're seeing? Because that may be the one you're seeing out there. So I don't know.
This is great.
Whatever.
This is great.
This is unreal that this is what we're spending our time on. When I think this is the easiest tiebreak, one of the easiest tiebreakers I've ever done for the SEC tournament, and now it's complicated. All right. $5 super chat, Optimistic Rattlesnake. We'll talk about Texas, Oklahoma, by the way, as soon as it goes final. Blake and Max, Florida, the real deal, SEC regular season champions. Okay. Now Florida should be in the South bracket with Auburn losing to Alabama. Optimistic Rattlesnake, we always appreciate your optimism here. We've noted that many times. I'm going to disagree with you on this claim. But we'll take your $5 anyways. We don't have to agree with you. Right? So, there you go. But, whatever. All right. West Nash Door. $5 super chat. Are the Commodores out of Dayton?
Doors?
Yes. I think so.
Gonna be tight.
I think so. I think they're out of there. All right.
Oh, like out of there. Like they're not gonna be playing out of there.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be in Dayton. I think they'll be out.
They're not going to. That's what I was saying. They're not going to be in Dayton.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's right. So.
Okay. Do we miss any games, or have we covered all of them?
We've covered it. Again, we weren't going to spend a lot of time on these games tonight anyways.
Yeah.
Now we're just waiting to see what
wrap it up.
The hell's going on with this tournament bracket. By the way, Oklahoma's up 5. Told you, Max, I was real confident about Texas in this spot, so you know I bet Oklahoma. So, yeah. What else?
I think we go ahead as our bracket is right because that's what KSR had, and we went through the breakdown. We went through them. How is this wrong?
I don't know, and that's where this should be so simple because I don't think this is a complicated one, but maybe we're missing something somewhere because I guess what I'm trying to figure out is how Ole Miss would have the tiebreaker over Missouri, and that's what I can't figure out necessarily. But we'll see. We'll see at that point. So, anyways. All right, Max. Get us a couple things going in the chat. I'm gonna grab something right here real quick.
Okay, well, Big Baller Brett is in the chat, and he says he has one thing to say. Chama. If you guys know UFC tonight. Big fights tonight, Blake. There were big fights today on the hardwood, and there's going to be some fights tonight in the octagon. What a sports day. This is Christmas. We got another $5 here from Optimistic. You got to go ahead and read that off.
I love it. Optimistic Rattlesnake. I never said you should or have agree with me here, Blake. I'm just telling you the facts. But you can stay in the dark. Ignorance is bliss, I guess. Well, yeah. Well, you may be onto something there, Optimistic Rattlesnake. But nonetheless. So,
John.
All right. John coming in with $10. The bracket I saw, we're not in any doubt about this part of the bracket, John. We feel 100% confident about these. Bracket I saw was Tennessee either playing Vanderbilt, Texas in the Wednesday game, or Texas A&M is the 5. Yeah. Well, I mean that's your setup. Vanderbilt plays Texas in the 12-13. Yeah, Texas A&M's the 5. So those are your potential matchups there for the Vols as the 4.
John, would you rather play Vandy or Texas? I think both have some good players, but I'm just curious to see what Vols fans want. Josh loves it. Josh is loving it. Loves that for the Vols.
Yeah. By the way, Tyler, I don't think that's true. I think Texas automatically is in the 13. And it's the same thing. Is it goes back to they tie head-to-head, then it goes up to the best win, right? Who's Oklahoma's best win?
Arizona.
Well, best win in SEC play.
I know.
Texas's best win is, guess who?
I'm not looking at them.
Oh, I thought you were looking.
No.
They beat A&M.
Well, then don't tell me that.
Well, they did. I mean, it's true.
Know.
Oklahoma's best win would be Missouri. So that settles it.
Sooners.
So there you go. Yeah. I'm about to just like, you know what? We're just going to sit here in silence until this bracket comes out because I'm like, I know this bracket's right. But we're still having this debate.
Look at how funny this is. So my answer, I asked Vols fans, you want Vandy or Texas? Back-to-back comments. Chris wants Vandy. Give me the doors, Chris says. And then right after, Josh says Texas. Easy. No doubter.
That's great.
Good stuff.
I like that. By the way, Big Ed or EJ asked about the gut bracket. That'll be a little bit later on. Ooh. If you want our bracket for the SEC tournaments and you want our picks all the way from game 1 to the championship, you'll get those. If you join the It Just Means More tier at Southeastern 16, we will be putting that out for members only, either late Monday or early Tuesday. We'll have our game-by-game predictions. So the first game slate, we'll make our predictions as we do for every other thing this season. But we'll also tell you that if you want to get our full bracket picks from the very beginning, you will get those behind the membership tier. Giving a little something extra for the members this week. Should be a fun video. So.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I got a few before we move on, because we've already talked about all the games today. I want to right before we get to the bracket, there's a few stats I want to throw out there that I missed in the chaos of today's action. Kentucky finishes the regular season with 8 top 15 wins. That ties Duke and Indiana for the most ever in college basketball history. That Duke team was from 1978, Indiana from 1992. Most top 15 wins in over 40 years, if I can do any math. I think it's 30. Math is not my strong suit, but incredible season for Mark Pope. And then Mark Sears becomes the first player in SEC history to win 3 games against AP number 1 opponents. He beat North Carolina in 2022, beat Houston in 2022, and then obviously today. So there's some history for Mr. Sears. And I had history of the entire IBOB, but I can't find it. But there was this one post that was here it is. So here's the IBOB update while Oates has been at Alabama, because obviously Pearl is there longer. So since Oates got to Alabama, the Tide have a 7-5 win advantage. Just one, just barely. Total points, Blake. The total points since Nate Oates has gotten there is 1,001 to 1,001. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? They've played 12 times and it's still tied. Their overall wins since Nate Oates got there, 141. Auburn, 141. That is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Literally dead equals. Yeah. Think of how insane it is to play 12 times and you're still tied on the total score. That's just insane. Yeah, there's Max's obscure stats from the day.
That's wild. All right. Let's Still getting the notifications coming in. It's funny because there was someone asking about the tiebreaker process in the comments, and I didn't respond. Like several other people have responded. And they're all using the same process that I've used, and they all are getting to different destinations. And I'm like, oh boy. So here we go again. But anyways, we'll see. All right, what other questions, comments you have? We'll get to the bracket shortly. The next 3 weeks of content will be legendary. It's definitely going to be legendary if this bracket isn't right. It's going to be legendary, all right? So, but it'd be a good point because I'm going to say, look at all those people out there who have that bracket. Not me. Mine's not there. It'll be a new one. But I mean, I think it's interesting. So hold on, Tyler. They just fixed the bracket. Now, what does it look like?
Oh.
Tell us what they look like. Hold on a second. Now, what does it say?
Where's Ole Miss?
Somebody tell me where the Rebels are playing the next week in Nashville. Please. Anyone.
Oh,
was the SEC watching this stream? Okay. All right.
Said.
So if we're all on the same page here, can we please bring up this godforsaken bracket now? All right? For God's sakes.
You want me to pull it up?
I knew when John Rothstein used it, that's all I needed. Okay? I didn't need anybody else out there. Yeah, pull it up, Max.
Or do you have like the actual photo, or I'll just go to your tweet?
Just go to my tweet, but we're gonna do something too. Yeah, go ahead and actually, bring it up to my tweet. Yeah. So, anyways, all right. Finally, for goodness sakes, here. By the way, look at how many tabs. How many tabs Max has open right now? You can, Max, too. You can share just the screen or just the you don't have to share your window. You can share just the thing. So,
is that so?
Here, I'll do it. That's fine. People know. They're used to this.
We roll with the punches here. We roll with the punches here, and that's just what you got to do at times.
All right, give me 1 second. I'll get it pulled
up. The tabs are 4 tabs of bracketology, 3 tabs of editing, Twitter, KenPom, ESPN, and for some reason I've got an empty doc just loaded to throw some notes into.
Of course.
Here we go.
You guys ever think about what are you going to do when this season's over and Max Barr and I are not sitting here, all kinds of technical issues on a Saturday night? By the way, this little gator, not dinosaur. I was like, this is a dinosaur. That little gator at the bottom really adds a nice effect here, doesn't it? I like that. That looks great. We're just going to see that gator popping up on the screen here. This is tremendous. All right. So here we go. We can finally say that Auburn is the 1, Florida's the 2, Alabama's the 3, Tennessee the 4. We already knew that pretty much based on how the result from earlier panned out. With both Tennessee and Alabama winning. Reason why, as we said, Alabama still a game ahead at that point. So that gator, I think that gator's trying to tell us something at the bottom right there.
Yep. You're on it, EJ.
Kentucky, there you go. Or excuse me, A&M's the 5. They won at LSU, so A&M stays at the 5. The 6 is Kentucky for all the reasons we have tried to explain in the last 23 minutes. The Cats hold the tiebreaker after beating Missouri today. Missouri is the 7. Ole Miss the 8. Arkansas, South Carolina, the rematch. The 9-16 for the Hogs and the Gamecocks. Vanderbilt, Texas, that was set pretty much earlier, as we said. There was no way that Oklahoma could jump Texas based on Texas's best win. Then it goes down to Mississippi State as the 10, LSU is the 15, and then you've got Oklahoma, Georgia 11. 14. Georgia's the 11, of course. Oklahoma, the 14. So, there you have it. Trying to see, Max. I think there's a way we can pull this up to fill the entire screen and take us off of there to give everybody kind of a quick overview if they want to look at it that way. But we all know me trying to figure out what that actually looks like could be difficult. So
beggars can't be choosers. So
yeah. So that's probably the best you're getting. But if not, you can find it literally on about 50 different Twitter accounts. Right? You'll see it out there.
50 is probably
all right. So what stands out here? Let's.
You want to know what stands out?
You talk, and I'll get us a better view of this.
So I did something while we were waiting to go live. I went back and I watched, because people have asked us multiple times, like, where'd you have this team in the preseason? What was your ranking on this team? And we've been like, I think we had them here. I'm not sure. I went back and I watched our preseason power ranking, our preseason SEC ranking, and I did where we had them in the biggest differences. We were pretty good. We had LSU 16. We were one spot low on them. Vanderbilt, we had 12. Vanderbilt, we had 15. They ended up 12. So Vanderbilt outperformed us by 3 spots. We had Oklahoma 14, dead on, nailed the Sooners. We had South Carolina 16, 3 spots too high. We had Georgia 12, 1 spot too low. Mississippi State 11, 1 spot too 1 spot too low. We had Missouri 10, 3 spots too low. We had Ole Miss 9, was right there, 1 spot too low. Our worst one, though, was Texas. We had Texas at 8, and they ended up 13. We were 5 spots off Texas, and then we had Florida at 7. We were 5 spots off Florida. So we had 3 that we were 5 spots off on. Kentucky, we had 6, nailed it. Tennessee, we had 5th, 1 off on them. And then our other bad one, we had Arkansas at 4, and they ended up at 9. But injuries played a role into that. But still, we were 5 off on Arkansas, Texas, and Florida. Those were the 3 teams that really we didn't get a good read on in the preseason. Then we had A&M at 3. We were 2 spots off on them. Auburn at 2. We were 1 off. And then Alabama at 1. We were 2 off. So pretty right there. But then we really missed on Texas, Florida, and Arkansas.
Well, I know why we missed on Texas, because I was the high man on Texas. And I thought that the Trey Johnson effect would be enough to raise them higher. And, didn't exactly work out that way, right? So, I thought that Texas would be, although you brought up the point, I think, of the front court, and we said that in the preseason, like, it just did not know how that was going to shake out. But also, I mean, was their record without Mark? Like, he's missed some games, so I don't know how that factored into some of those losses, maybe too. But so interesting.
And when we had Alabama at 1, and I'm doing this going back, and they're 3, I'd be like, wow, would I be surprised in the preseason if I was able to time travel, and then if I was able to look at the roster and see, well, Latrell Wright's out for the season. They haven't had Darian Reed for the basically last half of February and all of March. Be like, okay, see how they lost a few. So it all makes sense. You somehow have become muted.
Sorry, I had a cough. There's a shocker. All right, so here's what's interesting about this bracket, and I'm going to tell you right now. So if you look at the way this thing pans out, what are the similarities you see with the teams at the top of the bracket and the teams at the bottom of the bracket? Now, I say similarities not together, but separate. So the top of the bracket, here's the numbers, okay, because I pulled them up. So in the top part of the bracket, you have 5 of the top 27 teams in KenPom in defensive efficiency. Tennessee number 1, Texas A&M number 7, Auburn number 15, Arkansas number 18, Ole Miss number 27. At the bottom of the bracket, you have 4 of the top 6 offensive teams in the country: Florida, Alabama, Kentucky, and Missouri. These games are going to be so wild because we're not looking at some of these necessarily and saying, man, they play such a different style, right?
Yep.
You're going to get some of these matchups where these are the same team in some of these situations. And, oh, man, that's going to make for some great games because we've seen it so many times with these different combinations, right? It's just, I think that's going to be fantastic. So,
it couldn't have panned out in a better way. Entertainment-wise, you're going to get all those high-scoring games. You're going to get the slugfests. You don't have to get drawn in to a bad matchup. It's going to be fun. And even look at go back another round. You have teams like Oklahoma, Mississippi State, that if they go on a run, those are teams that don't guard very much and score a lot, compared to like Arkansas, South Carolina. at the top that, kind of lean on defense. Man, I really like how it shaked out shaked out, whatever.
It's shaked. Shaked. It's fine.
Shook. We're here. And I love these matchups.
Here's, by the way, this is the incredible stat, too, I wanted to bring up.
Oh, really?
I have the box score over here, so hold on. Carter brings it up. Hold on one second. Let me find it. So Texas has regained the lead here. They're up 1 with about 3:47 to go. And, yes, Trey Johnson is 0 of 11 from the floor.
Wow.
Now, remember, my thought process on this game was I was so confident that Texas was going to win, Max, because I said this is where Trey Johnson is going off. I said he's going to have one of his best games ever. Man, is too much pressure. He must have watched the prediction video. Too much pressure.
Oh my!
How about that?
gosh.
That's a wild thing. If they win this game with him going 0 of whatever, then I think you got to keep the Sooners out of the tournament.
Just based on that.
It's wild. Anyways. All right, you guys, give me your thoughts on the bracket. All right? So as we said, there's a clear top-bottom difference here when it comes to separation in terms of the styles, it seems. Now, again, we're not saying, obviously, teams at the top can play some offense, too. Auburn can play some offense. We know that. At the bottom, everybody said, what's Kentucky in the defensive efficiency now? How about the Cats making a move in defensive efficiency? They're up to 56th in Ken Palm. Think about that climb they've made on the defensive end. So
it's I'm trying to find what it's been like, because I know the Torvik, like when you filter Torvik, their defense is like top 20 or something like that since February. I'm trying to find it on the fly, but to no avail. But yeah, it's been a matter of getting healthy, but also getting exposed, finding out what you need to fix, and then having really good coaching to make adjustments and fix it. You got to credit Mark Pope there. Some teams had really bad defenses a month ago, still have really bad defenses. It was so bad where we were joking about it a little bit because of how far back they were from the number 15 team in SEC play in defensive efficiency. Now, going into a preview with Kentucky, good defense is going to be a plus for the Cats, where 2 months ago it was a laughing stock.
Yeah.
Major turnaround.
That's wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, here's a question for you. Playing fun here. Which top 4 seed has the best path?
Ooh, that's a great question, Blake.
By the way, we know Hunter's only here to talk about Alabama beating Auburn. Hunter texted me earlier, and he's like, I can't wait to watch the reaction tonight. I said, pal, we've already done the reaction to the Alabama-Auburn game. We're just going to be talking tournament bracket. But Hunter said, that's not enough. I just need to come back, and I need to talk about the Tide, the game.
Well, doesn't Hunter have his own reaction that he does, too? Probably busy.
Well, sure he does. He's a busy man.
Busy man. Yeah.
All right.
Best path. We've got a
path.
2 answers rolling in here.
What's everybody got?
Daniel's got Florida. Thinks they smoke Missouri.
Now, Daniel's not happy about the Tigers right now. I don't blame him. I said I'm a little concerned. But
one thing we have seen in the chat, because we have a little bit of a kiss of death that we have, there is most certainly I don't know how to describe this. It's like a chat you turn on your own team to try to reverse jinx them. Mm-hmm. You just saw it work to perfection with Big Baller Brett, and I think it's catching on now a little bit. We're getting some major reverse jinx work here in the chat. It's paying off so far. The CBB gods have noticed the efforts of the Southeastern 16 chat. Okay, it's not going to waste.
By the way, just like that, Oklahoma's up 6. So Trey Johnson still has not made a field goal.
Man.
Wild. So are the Sooners going to now set us up in a situation where I don't know what's going to happen with these SEC tournament games with those two? I mean, I do think you're now looking at a situation if Oklahoma wins where if Vanderbilt wins and Georgia wins, I think Oklahoma and Texas are out. So, yeah.
Lenardi, right before we went live, Lenardi was on either, I don't know what network he was on. He was on one of the networks, and he said if he was to have a betting line of 12.5 teams for the SEC, he would be taking the over tonight. So, yeah, it might mean nothing to you, but
I mean, yeah, I get it. Yeah. I don't know. I'm curious to see what, again, we said, right, Oklahoma winning was probably the best because they seem to be further towards the right side of the bubble than Texas, correct? Was that our thought coming into this? Wasn't that the way he had it? Or was it flipped? I don't remember. That was
I think Oklahoma was one line ahead. Like a last four to first four out. Last four in, first four out type of thing. Like
So
it was one line.
His updated as of this morning. So he'd updated it this morning. I didn't realize that.
Okay.
He had Oklahoma as the last team in. He had Texas as the second team out. So by Oklahoma winning this game, they're not moving off of the last four in, I don't think. They're going to stay there. But I think that pushes Texas to a point now where, I mean, it's probably going to take at least two in Nashville, I would think. Right? I think that's probably the case.
If they end up dropping this? Yeah.
So I think that's it. So again, Oklahoma winning, you feel like it's the better option to get you to 13.
Did Indiana beat Ohio State today?
Indiana won again today, didn't they?
Darn it. Yep.
So
that's the spot.
Yeah.
You got to. I'm telling you, if you're on the bubble right now, you got to pay attention to those other bubble teams. It's game by game.
Well, North Carolina, what's the score of that game? Is it over? It's over, isn't it?
They're out.
Yeah. Boise State is still a possibility, I suppose, because they've still got the Mountain West tournament. Nebraska, he's got Colorado State in there now. I mean, yeah, like Cincinnati, SMU, Wake Forest, I don't think there's any path for them. But remember too,
won like 7 in a row. They might have played themselves in.
Isn't it every SEC tournament game a quad one? Except for, I'm trying to think, right? I don't know if every game will be, but is it? I don't know.
Toon brings up a good point. Last year, 5 bids stolen. I heard a broadcast say that today also. And it's just, you don't realize, like, you forget how fast it happens because there can be like a day where there's like 3 or 4 different mid-major conference championships. You have 2 or 3 of them lose that were supposed to win, and you were just safely not even on the bubble. You had a bye, and now all of a sudden, who knows who wins the Missouri Valley, and now Drake steals a bid, and you're back on the last 4 in. It's like, what the heck happened? So pay attention to those Missouri Valley, Mountain West.
So let's look at the net rankings entering today. Because, this is going to sound terrible, but I was actually saying everyone, and I was in my mind excluding LSU and South Carolina, but I was doing that because they weren't in the NCAA tournament picture. Right. So that was kind of my thought. Everyone that's in the NCAA tournament conversation is going to get a quad one potential option, except for Arkansas, who plays South Carolina, and Mississippi State, who plays LSU. Mississippi State, it doesn't matter. Arkansas, I don't think it matters either. So the teams that are still trying to get in, they are going to get that. As of today, everyone was in the top 50 except for LSU, South Carolina. So, yeah, and there will be some movement, of course, coming out of that. But so now Donovan, I don't know if Donovan's thrown out the if we're hearing where Duke may or may not play in the ACC tournament.
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
Now, I know we never get trolled by our chat members here, but I've not heard anything on that. Don't worry, we'll bring the bracket up again in just a second, folks. Let's quickly catch up on some super chats. Before we do that, actually, catch up on some other money-related issues. BracketBids, our friends there, they are going to take your college hoops experience to the next level literally about a week from now.
Yes.
You can sign up now, though. Go sign up now, and then that way, when we bring on Mr. BracketBids, and we tell you our auction draft league we're doing, we're going to have some members join in on our draft. It'll be a live draft. You'll get to join us, draft teams, all that. It's going to be a lot of fun. But remember, you got to be part of the It Just Means More tier. You get to enter in that free pick'em contest at BracketBids right now, or you can start an auction draft league with your friends, family, or coworkers. Everyone starts with the same bidding dollars. You get to outbid your league mates to secure the teams you think go the distance. Choose from multiple scoring models, including the upset bonuses to reward the bold picks. Track your teams with live in-game scoring. Watch the standings shift in real time. The further your teams advance, the higher you climb the standings. For league play, use that promo code SE16 for 40% off. SE16, 40% off. Download the BracketBids app today or visit them at bracketbids.com. All right, Super Chats. Quinn, 999, revenge tour time. Time to win this thing, back-to-back years. We'll see about that. Yeah, the Tigers in the one spot. So, optimistic Rattlesnake, Blake and Max's irrational hate for Florida is the reason why you guys put them number 7 in the preseason. We were not as optimistic as the Rattlesnake, that's for sure.
We were not.
We love cutting Florida short. I agree. I only picked them to win the national championship in the most recent gut bracket we did on Thursday. That was 2 days ago. We'll see tonight if I still have the Gators winning the whole thing. Josh, $5 super chat. Top 4 seeds make it to Saturday, setting up an epic semis. Now that would be something, wouldn't it? And then
last year we didn't have any top seeds, right?
Yeah, we had that wild scenarios play out last year.
Yeah.
$5 super chat. Any potential bid stealers from the mid majors that could stand out, knock out an SEC team? I mean, I really think Boise State's the best choice right now, most likely.
And Colorado State.
Yeah, they're there too. So I think it's one of those Mountain West teams, which again, I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, if you're picking resumes, I just don't know if you're picking one of those other teams over an SEC team right now, based on the resume. But we'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, every major conference has bid stealers that aren't, projected to make it. So any power conference team not projected to make it, they go on a run. Remember that COVID year where it was like Oregon State and Georgetown and stuff went on weird runs, and then we're like in the Sweet 16 as 12 seeds. It was just bizarre. That year did not feel real.
No, it did not. All right, I've reached the point where I have way too many tabs open, so let me try to get back to wherever I need to be here on the tabs. Okay, so I was going to answer a question, which I starred, but I don't know where it went.
Is it this one?
Yeah, it's that one. Connor asks, how much do these conference games affect seeding? Does a loss outside of a championship drop you? I think the conference games, what we've seen as the trend is that if you're on the bubble, they absolutely are going to matter to a certain extent. If you're not, last year, I mean, go back and watch our bracket reaction we did last year live for the NCAA tournament and watch Max Barr and I, a year younger, watch us react in real time to Auburn and Florida's seeding in that tournament. And that told you all you needed to know. So
I look so much different. You won't even recognize me.
Well, I just think if you see our reaction to that live, we were like, what on earth? And it didn't matter for anybody. It wasn't just those teams, but we had just watched those teams play in the SEC tournament final. And we look up and we're like, all right, they're definitely getting the bump. Absolutely not. By the way, we currently in the chat, if you're on audio, you're not getting to see what's going on right now in the chat. We have got dueling bracket bids and Sanders moving cheers going on. We have our own cheer squad right now for our sponsors. So if you want to be a sponsor and you are watching this and you're looking at this saying, wait a second, these guys right here almost got 1,000 people watching right now between YouTube and Twitter. They have people in the chat who are basically, again, this is like doing the wave at your favorite sporting event.
Who started it? Look who started it.
Of course it was Matt. Matt's the ultimate hype man. Okay? So if you're a sponsor out there and you're thinking, I want to get in on an audience that really, really invests in the people that they appreciate and they enjoy, how could you not be sitting here wanting to sponsor this channel with SEC tournament, NCAA tournament coming up? We're going to be doing 43 streams a day, most likely. Over under, probably 40. Come on. Reach out. Find us on Twitter. Email. You got lots of different options to reach out to us. Let us know in the chat if you would like to sponsor the show. All right.
Bouncing around a
Now
little
what?
here, Blake, just because my, Max's brain is just doing one of those bounce around things. I think the reason we were off on Florida is we did not expect Ruben to be an absolute monster like he is. With Alexis and Chinyalu coming in, we were like, yeah, they've got some good numbers, but you're losing Micah Hanlockton. You're losing Tyree Samuel. There's no way they can. And yeah, look what happened.
Look what happened. Yeah, I know. It's I think that was the thing. We were talking about the Samuel effect, and we were trying to figure it out through the Hanlockton injury. And I mean, even Zion Pullen, right? I mean, that guy was so good last year that it was like, man, it's not that easy. So Big Gator EJ brings up too a $4 trillion tax cut super chat from Big Gator EJ.
Yeah.
Denzel Aberdeen did make a 3 today, 19-0 when that happens. So, like I said, if you want to win some money, if you see Denzel Aberdeen hit a 3, go bet on Florida immediately. And you're going to be in a good position. So, yeah, good point here, too. I mean, Tommy H., our guy, he was our guy last year. But I think if you just said, hey, is he going to make this kind of jump? I don't know. We were high on this guy, but, man, the way he's been playing, I mean, we're talking first team All-SEC are there for a little bit. So
yeah, with that one stretch, like 2 weeks. And also, we kind of had our doubts, not our doubts, but we're just not as confident having Walter Clayton move to the point guard in one offseason, right?
Yeah.
After Pullen has a historic assist-to-turnover ratio. So, I mean, you got to give the credit to the Golden and that staff. And when you really think about it, you're moving a combo guard to point guard, and then you're trying to replace Micah Hanlockton and Tyree Samuel. And you not only do you do it, but you replace them and then get much better.
Yeah.
Great job.
Yeah. Great job. All right, let's get to some other stuff here. Yeah, I know, Donovan. You sent in a $500 super chat. Yeah, it's by the way, it's not actually a super chat. You're just telling us you're giving us $500 without giving us $500. He asks, who's the projected favorite in the conference tournament? Is it still Auburn after the 2-game skid? We'll find out.
That's a great question.
Max, see if you can find any betting lines out there. I just looked up. I couldn't find any yet, but they'll be out as soon as this game is over, which is basically now. You guys have to tell me my feed cut out here. 75-72 Oklahoma with 2 seconds left. I don't know who has the ball, but
it's a timeout right now. But yeah, there's not going to be any lines out just yet for SEC tournament winner.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's close between Auburn and Florida. I think it's very close, probably. The betting odds is my guess. Would not be shocked if Florida was the favorite.
I was just going to say, do not be surprised if Florida is the slight favorite.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked with that. But I say that to say I still think Auburn's path is pretty good to get to the final. Florida has to go through potentially Missouri, which I know has not played well, but they have beaten them this season. Alabama, who I know Florida just beat, but again, we're talking neutral court scenarios, like those kind of things. Kentucky's still down there, so I'm curious to see what Vegas thinks. If it's terms of who's playing the best, I think it's Florida. Florida's playing the best right now, but we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what else we got here. Lord Withrow, -20 super chat. It's what you owe unless you pick the Cats. I like that.
That's good.
Yeah, like that. All right, let's get to some other stuff here. And we still got to get to a gut bracket. Okay. Nick asks, it's not that cold tonight. What's the deal with the big coat? Nick, it's about 45 degrees here. And remember, I'm doing this from the famous garage that doesn't really have any heat. So it's always cold here. Yeah, don't worry. Once we get into the 70s, it'll be better. But, yeah, we'll see. All right. Optimistic Rattlesnake, $5 super chat. Have to put this in a way that Blake can finally understand. Florida is Cody Rhodes. Auburn is Drew McIntyre. Oh, man, Max, if you can understand that's a deep cut right there. That's a deep cut.
It's not my area. It's not my area.
Oh, man. That one got me. Not going to lie to you. That one got me. Oh man,
Optimistic. Get them.
I like it. I like it. Optimistic. Keep those coming because those will get me. Shout out to Connor. Came across the channel beginning of the season, and now we're a must listen.
Huh.
Gruden grinders with the amount of content we put out. How about that? What was Gruden's thing?
Wow.
No, it was something like the knock. Was it on Hard Knocks?
Chucky,
He did
right?
I don't know, what was the thing he had with the Raiders? It was like some kind of knocking with the knock on the table or something. I don't remember what he said. Someone will know in the chat. But he's at Barstool now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Isn't he doing stuff with him? Yeah.
Yeah. I like him at Barstool too. They needed
He's great.
They needed something. I love him. Yeah. I love his energy. You gotta have seen his Andrew Luck like draft breakdown.
Oh
the
yeah.
Video where Gruden is like just loving it. Like he's like, this guy knows football.
You guys think we love SEC basketball? I've never seen anyone love football more than Gruden.
It's a passion. It's what it's all about.
So.
It's like Dickie V on the call today. Great stuff. That's amore. What a call. What a call.
Oh boy. All right. Let's see what else we got here in the chat. I'm going to let you track anything coming in. I'm going to try to catch up on the stuff that we have elsewhere. I know who was it? Josh, giving the fuel to the balls. Auburn's path is not easy. I didn't say it was easy. I just said I could see them getting to the championship. Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't think it's easy necessarily, but I think A&M and Tennessee, if that winds up being the matchup, they're going to beat each other up, is what I think. And so we'll see what's left. I hate everyone here. The Gators, the Vols, I'm just down on everybody.
Yep.
But we appreciate the guys. Keep that energy out. Just everyone keep it coming. All right. If you want me to knock your favorite team, let me know. But make sure you pay us, and we'll knock your favorite team. We appreciate Josh as always jumping in.
Here's a question.
Oh.
Say it is this is pure hypothetical. Say it's 1 against 2, okay? Just say it's Auburn, Florida, just for the sake of this argument. Who do you think it favors more, or is there nothing to it, or am I just completely going off on a limb here? But is there any advantage or disadvantage from being in the fast-paced offense region or the grinded-out defense region? Because there's going to come a game after you've played 2 or 3 of them against the same style where it's going to be a complete opposite.
Before I answer that, I did just drop the link to the It Just Means More tier. So if you guys want to join it, copy and paste that link in there.
Join it.
Matt also speaking to my heart, saying yeet. Max, you don't get that one either, but trust me, you need to.
You guys carry on.
They're yeeting in the chat right now. It's a big deal.
Yep.
Yeah, by the way, time change. Don't forget, we're all losing an hour tonight. So it's time to go to bed for some people out there, including Max Barr soon. Yeah, we're springing forward, right? Don't we lose an hour tonight? I think that's right. Yeah, sorry, Max. We thought we were going to get you out here early tonight, but actually, we're not going to. It's really more like, almost midnight your time. But back to what you said. Yeah, I think it's a great question as to which of those do you prefer?
Yeah.
Because it's like you are going to get some of those games that are the similar style. And so I think we'll see. I mean, yeah, I think the top part of the bracket, those teams they're going to beat each other up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But then do you play, efficient offense after efficient offense, and then you run into a brick wall and you can't score for the first 5 minutes, and it's like, uh-oh.
Yeah. Tune. We lose an hour. I'm EST, and my shift to watch the newborn begins in an hour and a half, but you guys are a must listen. Listen, I appreciate the dedication, but I know how that goes, and man, that's great. Appreciate that. All right, just quickly, we saw the final. Texas is out. Yeah, I don't think Texas is in. I think the Longhorns now we'll pull the bracket up again in a second. I think Texas has to beat Vanderbilt, and I think they have to beat Texas A&M. If they do that, they're in. If they don't, they're out. That's my opinion. So, similar, Max? Do you think that?
My brain was kind of fogged up by Brian's message here that time change happens at 2 Eastern, and I was trying to create like some sort of quick joke that's like, oh, well, if you go to bed before then you don't lose the hour. But I couldn't think of anything fast enough. You threw it to me and I didn't have anything.
Oh, my. Yeah, well, that's okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now that we have, I don't think Texas is going to get in. I think they have to win at least 2 now in Nashville.
Yeah.
For that to be the case. So, yeah. All right, Max, by the way.
Disappointing news. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
No, you go first to say disappointing news.
Yeah, it looks like Buckyball's coming to an end today.
Oh, are they?
I know. Yep. They're down by 10 right now with a few minutes left against Furman.
What was seed? Were they the top seed? What was the seeding?
ESPN's not showing me the seeding, but it's the SoCon quarterfinal, and I know we've got some Samford fans, so.
Now we got some Buckyball watchers out there who are waiting.
Buckyball watchers, yep.
And they were the third seed. Okay. Or fourth seed.
Isn't that crazy though?
Fourth.
I mean, seasons are ending today. They have been all week. Seniors playing their last game of college basketball.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. That's interesting. Okay. We said all year we thought the magic number at the beginning was 8. Then we said, could it be 7? But I'm just telling you, remember, I think with Oklahoma, the reason they are unique here is because they have the 3 non-conference wins against Arizona, Louisville, and why do I always forget the third one? Michigan, right?
Michigan.
Yeah. That's why they are in a season where they're playing in the strongest conference ever, statistically. They have 3 elite non-conference wins. So I think that's going to be the separator because when you compare them to these other teams, they don't have those. So they didn't. The teams they're going up against did not play in as strong of a conference, and they also don't have those wins. So you got to give Oklahoma the nod, do you not? I mean, let's play this game. If they lose to Georgia, should that knock them out? I mean, I think that's where the bid stealers come in.
Yes,
you're going to have bid stealers, and then it gets a little shaky at that point. But
yep,
I don't know. So I think they're in right now. I think as of right now they'd be in because Texas. That's a quad 1 win on the road. Yeah. So, yep.
Yeah.
All right. Shout out to Connor. He's now a member. That just means more to you. Remember, if you want our bracket picks, our official picks, they'll be out Monday evening or Tuesday morning. And you will be able to get those as a member. We will do a special members-only live stream to make our official picks. How about that? Where members will get to join in, share your thoughts. That is what we're going to do with that. So, yeah, that's the plan. Members-only live stream with our final official SEC tournament picks, and then we'll do the game-by-game picks in the smaller prediction videos. Or we may do those live for the morning shows. We'll figure that out.
Got a lot of content coming.
Again, guys, you know what to expect from us. Mother Carol with a $20 super chat. Thanks for a fantastic SEC season with all the chat friends from across the conference. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, here's the deal, guys. We have been think about how many streams Max and I have done on Saturdays for the past, I don't know, months. And there are some times where Max and I are sitting here like, are we really about to do stream 3, stream 4? Man, we're exhausted. We got all this going on. What are we going to do? Can we really do this, Max? The people will understand, right? But then we're like, hang on a second. We got to get in there and hang out with the people. If you guys were not coming in, giving us all this excitement, enthusiasm for SEC basketball, we would do one stream on a Saturday and we'd say, all right, we're out of here. But no, you guys want the SEC basketball stuff as much as you can get. And that's why we have catered to you with 3 or 4 streams on Saturdays sometimes, the watch-alongs we were doing until both of us got sick and we had to try to conserve our voices a little bit. But yeah, like, come on, guys. I mean, we're going to keep doing streams all throughout March. We said it, the off-season content, we're not going anywhere with the SEC basketball stuff. You're going to be getting regular stuff, transfer videos, all sorts of stuff here.
I've already started. I've already started portal season.
We've already started.
Yeah, I'm on it.
We're working on the portal. Max has already sent me a spreadsheet with like 872 portal names that I got to start studying.
You think he's joking?
I'm not joking. I got a spreadsheet that's got hundreds
ready.
of names on it for SEC teams.
I'm ready.
What's the name last night? What was the guy's name? The North Dakota, South Dakota. What's the guy's name? Eagle. I can always forget this kid's name. Eagle. Trayson. Eagle what?
Staff. Come on.
Eagle Staff. I was like, Eagleston, Eagle Staff, Eagle Staff. That's it. Get that guy here tomorrow. So, yeah. Anyways, all that to say, you guys are the best. Keep coming in.
Yeah. Joking aside, I think it was for the first Alabama-Auburn game when we did the members-only stream. My parents, who they very loosely follow basketball, not much at all, they signed up. They subscribed. They joined the members only, and they were shocked by the chat. They were like, we were not expecting this community to be like this. We thought you guys were kind of just broadcasting, but it's like a whole family. And I know we joke a lot. I never usually get serious or anything like this, but really it is awesome, and it makes it fun for us to come on here. Yeah, really appreciate it. And Blake this is now number 2 for the mute.
Okay. Listen, when you have a cough, I try to be respectful of the people, and sometimes I forget to turn it back on. But I'm going to throw out a challenge to you guys right now. And I see Mother Carol gifting out 5 memberships. You know what, Max? I'm feeling like I'm in the gifting mood right now, too. So as soon as I can get all these tabs closed to where I can pull it up for us to be able to gift a membership, I'm going to do that. And we're going to give out a lot of memberships as well. So that's because you guys are the best. But here's what we need. If you're in the chat, you've never commented before, drop an emoji, anything. Not anything you want. Don't tell them that, Max. No. Don't ever tell the chat to drop something, because they will drop something. It could be anything. Drop an emoji, give us a hand wave, something like that. Don't just drop something.
Don't make me look bad, guys.
Don't be throwing up all kinds of, what are the emojis? Don't be throwing up the little, never mind. I'll say it, you guys. Let's know which ones I'm talking about. Don't use the emojis that are equating with certain body parts and all this other stuff, okay? Don't do that. Holy cow. We appreciate you guys jumping in, though, for the first time. Throw an emoji in there. That's all you got to do. You don't have to say hi. Just throw out an emoji. Anyways, okay. Mother Carol has gifted out 5 memberships, by the way. I'm going to gift out mine here in a second. So don't go anywhere if you're in the chat, because you may get a membership. Remember, these are completely random. No one picks 5 more from Matt G here. Bang. They don't pick who gets them. It's completely randomized via YouTube, so keep that in mind. Look at all the emojis coming in. How about that? And Matt has also unsubscribed as well.
I think it's the second time of this stream, too. So, he's on a roll.
Yeah. So, yeah. Skylar, the ultimate, never got a membership, but just said, you know what? People have been trying forever. I'm going to get in on the membership. A lot of you guys getting in on the membership. Look at a lot of Gators, a lot of Gator emojis coming up in the chat right now. A lot of Florida fans out there watching somewhere in the world. Maybe they're out with Big Gator EJ on the West Coast. Tremendous stuff. But
Gators,
we appreciate you guys hopping in with that. But, all right, you want to give out some memberships, Max? Should we do that right now? I think we should, before we give some more thoughts on some stuff.
Gotta.
I see, Quinn, I see your super chat. I'll get to it shortly. I'm trying to figure out how to gift out the memberships here. All right. Are we ready for 5 more memberships? Who's going to be the lucky people to get 5? Let's go. Gifting out 5 here on our side. Let's see who YouTube gave it to, Max. I'm going to tell you because I can see it in front of me. Iron, Kentucky. Braden, WPS. Eric. Oh, no, wait. Sorry, Eric. You got one from Matt. Robert, Jake, and W. Cannon got the memberships. Matt, don't lie to the people. They are not handpicked. These are all randomized. Iron, Kentucky, though. That's one. Okay, that's a great catch. Got the membership. We're going to give out 5 more because it's March. And let's see who gets the next 5. Here we go, Max. This is like the lottery. Tune! Yes!
Hey!
Yes! Tune is in. Douglas, Tune before the newborn watch gets a gifted membership. Joseph gets one. Tuck gets one. And Max gets one. How about that? Max.
Is it Max?
There's another Max. this guy,
Drop a chat,
it just
Max.
means more to this guy. I'll tell you that. So
Great name.
tremendous stuff. So look at that. Look at all the gifting that's being done here. It's like Christmas night when the SEC tournament bracket comes out. By the way, Max, do me a favor real quick. Please go to the SEC Twitter and make sure our bracket's correct before we continue on here.
Yes.
I think so. So, yeah. Skylar's rooting for a Discord channel. So all of us can chat whenever and do our own.
Discord.
What's that?
Sleepers Media, they do the Big Ten.
They have Discord?
Yeah. I don't know Discord all too well, but look into it.
Is that what Trilly uses?
That's the Trillead, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Okay. We'll consider it. I like that idea.
Yeah, a few comments in here asking for a Discord.
I've used the Discord. I've used it for a couple of different things. So yeah. Interesting. All right. We shall consider. A March Discord could be interesting for the channel members. But all right. So here's where I'm going to make an executive decision here. I'm going to get to Quinn's super chat in a second, by the way. I think we're going to hold off the gut bracket tonight.
Okay.
Because we've already went a little long, and we were going to make this about the SEC tournament bracket. But I'm going to give you the SEC tournament chaos bracket, Max. Are you ready for that? I just need to make sure we have the bracket right. And then I'm going to give you my chaos bracket picks.
Yeah, I looked it up, and every screenshot is yours. I mean, I'm talking Curtis Wilkinson, J.C. Hoops, Trey Wallace, John Rothstein.
Okay. What about the SEC official account doesn't have the bracket out yet? Are they still going through this? So I know everyone said it was corrected earlier, but I want to make sure that we didn't just waste our time here. This will be an all-timer if we did, but nonetheless.
We're good.
All right. Okay, or look up KSR, see if they're backtracking on anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Chaos is what we're going to talk about. Josh's comment on asking about what a Discord is has gotten me laughing as well. But
they're still up.
What's that?
It's still up. We're good.
Okay. $10. Quinn wants the drinks pouring out on a Tuesday night. Max is coming in on sometime on Tuesday.
Yes. It's like an 8-hour drive for me.
Yeah.
So
Max is driving to my house. It's going to be about an 8-hour drive.
We're partying all night. Huge.
Max and I, you guys, there you go. There's the real question. Do you guys want a Blake and Max Barr live from Blake's garage house party, 10 p.m. Central Time on Tuesday night? I should not have given you a time because you guys are going to hold it to us. And you're going to make us both go live from the garage on Tuesday night when Max gets here live in living color in Nashville, Tennessee. Everyone, I knew when I asked that question, everyone's going to say yes. Yep. Max and I might have to get a setup out here for that. Yeah, we might have to get it set up. Might be like one of those kind of talk interview styles where I'm going to be sitting here in a chair like this, legs crossed, just kind of staring over at Max. Max going to be in a chair. We're going to have our microphones just, so yeah. I don't know. So we'll see about that, guys. But Quinn just says he's coming to the bar instead. $50. Quinn's he's paying the tab right now. So
Quinn, I love it.
Yeah. But we'll see.
Quinn.
So we'll see about that. Okay. By the way, Optimistic Rattlesnake earlier. Continue the WWE theme. He wants one more title run for Jeff Hardy, Max. If you ever heard of Jeff or Punk. You should know Punk because he's a former MMA.
Yeah, because he did a little stint. I'm a UFC guy.
He didn't fare well, I don't think, but it's okay. I didn't. Matt gifted 5 more memberships. Brayden, $5, appreciating the membership. He's in. So there you go.
Brayden.
All right, one more time. I'm going to drop the link to the It Just Means More tier. If you want to join, here's your chance before we hop out. Chaos bracket. You want to do that? If I can ever get an official bracket out there, that'd be nice. If the SEC would officially tweet it out, we could have a live bracket to work with. But whatever. We're going to go with ours, even if it's not correct.
It is correct.
That's got to be, right? Okay. Let me find this real quick, and we will go with it. And now we're going to head out of here. Okay. So, pull up the share screen here. We're going to do the official chaos bracket. And remember, the chaos bracket is not a gut bracket. It is
Different,
rooting
much
for
different.
what happens if it gets chaotic, if things get chaotic. Yes. That is what we're doing here. By the way, Chris is at the local bar in Brooklyn right now, Max. You should appreciate this. War Eagle coming through. So
there we go.
Look at this. Look at this.
Oh,
Quinn.
my gosh.
Oh, man. Quinn, $300 super chat on a Saturday night SEC basketball regular season finale. Incredible.
Quinn.
Incredible.
Looks
Quinn,
like we're all night.
We might be. Max Barr and I are going to go live on Wednesday morning. We can't guarantee you what kind of state we're going to be in. But we're going to be heading to the SEC tournament, and you're going to see us it's not going to be a pretty scene. Mother Carol says the SEC now agrees with our bracket. So I can trust Mother Carol with my life. So that we're going to guarantee that is the case. So, all right. We got a new member jumping in.
Nice. Got some gamers.
Awesome stuff. And what do you know? Quinn just dropped another.
Oh, my gosh.
Another. Quinn, you got to save the money for Nashville, Tennessee. Do you know how expensive it is here? You got to save the money, man.
Way to go, Quinn.
Nashville. It's not cheap. That's all right. Quinn will get it back by betting on the Auburn Tigers.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do.
That's it. All right, Chaos Bracket. You ready? Here we go. I do it every year.
Oh.
Are you ready? Here we go. Chaos Bracket. Arkansas, South Carolina. Give me the Gamecocks. South Carolina advances. And the only reason I'm saying that is if you want chaos. I'm not saying that means every underdog advances, but South Carolina just beat Arkansas. If you want chaos, South Carolina advances. South Carolina. Vanderbilt, Texas. They're going to have to give us some chaos here, right?
Yeah,
Mississippi State, LSU. Mississippi State.
State.
Okay. Georgia, Oklahoma. If you want a little chaos, you need Otega-Oweh in the rematch. Oklahoma advances.
Ooh.
Ole Miss, South Carolina. Can CMB lead the Gamecocks into a Cinderella run in the NCAA tournament? Maybe, but I'm picking Ole Miss here in this one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Texas A&M and Texas. If you want the ultimate chaos scenario, again, you're probably rooting for chaos here. But I'm picking Texas A&M.
Yes. Okay, good. Me too.
Missouri, Mississippi State. If you want chaos.
Ooh.
It's probably Mississippi State. So I'm going to pick the Bulldogs to advance in this one from a chaotic standpoint.
I'm going to go Tigers. All
right. All right. I like that. Go Tigers.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Again, you kind of balance the chaos with all this stuff.
Yep.
Kentucky and Oklahoma, the Otega-Oweh revenge game part 2.
Oh, my God.
Please
give us that
the
game.
Kentucky Wildcats advancing in this one. Auburn and Ole Miss, a little too much chaos, I think, to pick Ole Miss. So I'm going to pick Auburn to advance.
Yeah.
Texas A&M, Tennessee. Chaos.
Ooh,
we want chaos, which means we need 50 free throws. Quarterfinal game on a Friday. The team that sits and waits and waits and waits. We've seen it so many times.
Yep.
A&M style. I'm picking A&M in the chaos bracket to advance.
I'm
Florida,
going Tennessee.
All right. Florida versus Mississippi State and or Missouri. I'm going to go Florida advancing in the chaos bracket.
Okay, Florida.
Yeah.
This is where I get chaotic here.
Alabama, Kentucky. If we're talking chaos, this is where you need Kentucky.
Yep.
Kentucky advances. By the way, Daniel, you know my move here when it comes to Missouri by now, okay? We know my play. I know what to do when it comes to the Tigers. I've been a little too high on Missouri, a little too confident. It's time to kick that back again, okay? Give me Kentucky advancing. All right, I got Auburn and Texas A&M. If you are wanting chaos, I am going to give you a chaotic scene in the championship game. Give me the Aggies to advance.
Oh, my
with
gosh.
47 free throw attempts against the Auburn Tigers. Okay? Chaos bracket. This is not the official bracket. If you want that, you got to join the It Just Means More tier. This is all chaos. Max, who you got in the championship of the chaos bracket?
Vols.
Okay. You got Tennessee versus who?
Kentucky.
I knew it. I'm going to go Kentucky, Texas A&M in the chaos bracket.
Oh, I love it.
And the ultimate chaos team in the chaos bracket for me, the team that causes the most havoc. If you're picking a winner for the chaos bracket, you got to pick the team that causes the most havoc, all right? And to me,
do it.
That's Kentucky, because the Cats are a team that I'm telling you, they beat all the big-time teams. We've seen it this season. They're now back to full strength, as much as they can get to full strength for this team. Kentucky. Going to be a lot of blue in the stands in Nashville. Going to be a lot of orange for both the Tigers and the Vols. Going to be a lot of red for the Crimson Tide. Going to be a lot of blue from the Gators. I agree with Josh, though. It's a great point. Tennessee-Kentucky final would be incredible. So,
yep, I'm going to go Cats, too.
I'm going Kentucky in the chaos bracket, man. They're the 6th seed, and how many top wins do they have this season? What's the number now? You guys can remind me, but I don't know.
It's something high.
Something high. All right. Speaking of high, we're not, but we're heading out of here. There's your bracket. So, listen, Eric, again, not my official pick. If you want my official pick, this is just in the ultimate chaos bracket, which is completely different from our official picks at Southeastern 16. Join the It Just Means More tier. Guess what? Eric says, you know what? I've already joined. Who else is going to join out there? 5 more people, because Matt just gave out 5 more memberships. So, there you go. All right. Who had fun today? It's like asking the children. Who had fun today? Did you guys enjoy that trip? What a trip SEC basketball is taking us on this season. By the way, new member. Another new member.
Ace.
Here. Quinn says, Big Baller, a $10 super chat. Arkansas, Vandy, Mississippi State, Georgia parlay for the first round games. Ooh.
Oh.
Now I like that. I don't hate that.
Who is it?
At all. Quinn's got Arkansas, Vandy, Mississippi State, Georgia in a parlay for the first round games. He's thinking.
I'm riding, Quinn. I'm riding.
All right. All right. Trailing Quinn. Chris with $10. Congrats to Alabama. Tough way to end an amazing regular season. Shout out to you guys for all you do, and special shout out to the classy Mother Carol arriving in Nashville Tuesday. Yeah, you guys let us know if you're coming down. It's going to be fun. Yeah.
Yep.
We'll see you guys there. Let us know. We'll be talking to you guys, at the tournament, and we'll be talking to you guys for the awards, which will be our next official stream. Haven't made a decision, either tomorrow night or Monday morning. Our season awards for SEC basketball coming out. We'll also do our end-of-season power rankings. We're probably going to do 2 separate streams for that. So we may do a double on Monday. We may do double streams on Monday. We'll let you know. But, again, guys, we appreciate you. What else you got?
It's the last day to get your bully ball votes in. We have had an overwhelming support. I did not expect to have to run through this many ballots. Probably going to take me way too long for what I wanted to do. However, get your votes in. Go to my Twitter page, pin post, get your bully ball votes in. Big award, very legit award that is recognized by the SEC.
Yeah, the SEC will recognize it just as they recognize the bracket, hopefully. But also, if you're like, hey, Nashville's a great place and I want to move there. Well, little did you know that there is a place that would allow you to do that here. What? And that is our friends, Sanders Moving, formerly known as Ted R. Sanders Moving. Teddy R., a leader among moving companies in Nashville, Tennessee, and the surrounding area. They're a team of professional movers focused on delivering efficient, hassle-free moving at an affordable price, whether you're moving across town or across the country. Sanders Moving has you covered. Visit them at tedrsandersmoving.com. All right, we're out of here. The Discord's being worked on, it sounds like, in the chat. Everybody's excited. Tournament time is here. Who will be the last team standing? We'll find out. We appreciate you guys watching as always. Thanks for all the super chats. You guys are the best. Tournament week is upon us.
Oh, we're here, guys.
You thought we were fired up before. Look out.
Come on.
All right. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Hit the like button on your way out. All it takes is one little tap of the button. And, we'll see you guys soon. Talk to you soon.